NFL on Fox reporter, and also the clothing line, Wear by Erin Andrews, is available at fanatics.com or nflshop.com right now for you to show off your fandom. Erin Andrews of Fox, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. It has been too long. Erin Andrews, how you doing?
Too long. And also I'll plug the NCAA line we have with your Michigan Wolverines available. I'm gonna does your lovely wife, does she cheer for Michigan, or what does she cheer for?
Oh God, no. What she does,
Okay.
what Susie does frequently, Erin, is stand there and leave me alone in the Ohio State pit of misery. And then come back in about 10 minutes later, and it's a 30-point worse deficit, and I get oh, honey, not again. I get that. But she's a Columbia Lion. Do you have any Columbia gear, Erin?
You know what? Not we didn't get that approval yet. You
haven't gone Ivy League yet?
Enough. Nope, not that one. We're getting there. How are you?
I am doing great. It's too bad that your line wasn't available when you were supposed to wear Florida Gator gear, because my Wolverines beat your Gators in the NCAA tournament. It's too bad that wasn't available back then, Erin.
Oh, yeah. It always comes down to Michigan and Florida, either in basketball or some lame bowl. I was telling Brady that, I don't know, at some point in the offseason, he tweeted something, and it was like a sunset of orange and blue, and I was like, perfect, Gators. And he's like, oh. Yeah, we just can't get out of our own way, Michigan and Florida sometimes, huh?
Well, it was bad news for my Wolverines in a couple of bowl games ago. But Tom, if I'm not mistaken, made his final appearance as a Michigan Wolverine, destroying Florida and Urban Meyer before he went into the pros, and still everybody ignored him, even though he set records that I do believe Rex Grossman eventually beat in that Orange Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Sexy Rexy? Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. That is the one.
You know what, Rich? I had a great time on this show. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you later.
No.
You know what I appreciate about this show? It's not on a Zoom call, so you don't care what I look like right now. I mean, what has happened to everybody in quarantine that we need now to look at each other? I don't need that.
I know. And see what, what if you were on, what does the Erin Andrews office look like? What does the Andrews cave look like?
It's pretty sexy. It is more my husband's man cave that I then, once we got married and I, moved to the house, I put a desk in. We had to move over some of the photos of the 2012-2014 King Championship. Oh, that's great. You're at the White House. Here's my picture of me and Big Papi. Yay.
Right.
It's good. We have it perfectly lit. In the back is one of the bars in our house, and his jerseys and some pictures of him doing a face-off against Iserman. And then our Peloton is to the left. So it's not bad. We've, our laptops are elevated so you get the high angle, and we've lit it pretty well. But the office has turned into an absolute disaster down there.
Everybody's got to show off their office settings, I guess, these days. Yeah. Erin Andrews here on the Rich Eisen Show. Your office this weekend was the Superdome. What was it like doing your gig in a pandemic in an empty Superdome that you normally have to struggle to hear what you're thinking because it's so damn loud? What was that like for you?
No, that is a game where my dad is constantly texting me before, whenever I'm at the Superdome, and he said, make sure you put that mic close to your mouth. I can't imagine how loud it is. Rich, and listen, we're all so happy to be back. We'll play however, we can, but It was bizarre. I mean, I had my head down for a minute getting everything ready to go for my first hit, and I missed the Bucs running out. I mean, I wanted to see TB lead them out. Here we go. Because there's no noise. And then I just said to Joe and Troy on a conference call, this is what it reminded me of. Back in the day when I was in elementary and middle school and I was on a dance troupe, and yes, I was in the back row because I was 5'8" when I was in third grade, which, is the reason why I have the posture that I have. We'd always have to go perform at the state fair, and nobody's there except my mom and some of her friends, had had a few cocktails and were cheering, and here they are, the BSDA dance troupe, and my mom's like, woo! That's what it sounded like when Drew Brees and the Saints ran out. It was bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like my mom and her three friends. It was really weird.
So what is the sound in the stadium? I mean, we're hearing sound, on the broadcast. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Fox in that broadcast even played some boos when a call went against the Saints. And I'm like, that's that's real. That's something that would actually have happened. But what are you hearing? What are you hearing in the stadium?
Yeah, I think that was a Chimera play. Nothing. I mean, Sean Payton said it perfectly to us before we got to the stadium. They practiced with it. He goes, it kind of sounds like a lame cocktail party. So we thought, all right, what does that sound like? And then they turned it on, and you got a little startled, and you thought, oh, yeah, this is a lame cocktail party. It's just like a weird little buzz, but it's not loud. I mean, when Brady threw his first interception and he screamed, he threw 2 F-bombs, you could hear it so well. I mean, it was unbelievable. You're like, oh my gosh, did that make it on air? Of course it did. I can't be on the field, but I heard the talking back and forth to opposing players is so clear. You can hear it all. I wish I could. I mean, another example is sometimes they would pump in like a song. I think they played like Usher once. They were like, bam, 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 bam. And I just yelled, yeah. And I totally forgot that the players could hear me because there's no buzz in there. Bend over to the front and touch your toes. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
Right.
It's just weird. But again, thankful we're having games this Thursday. I don't like the way your poll question's going, but we do have the Browns and the Bengals.
You do.
And,
you sure do.
6,000 fans are going to be there. So I'm interested to see what that's like.
Well, before we get to that,
we don't hear what is on the TV in that stadium. So
right.
That was a long way of answering that.
No. It's great. Erin Andrews here on the Rich Eisen Show, and we'll get to your clothing line in a second. But how can you do your gig if you can't get on the field? I mean, like normally you're trying to suss out so much. How can you suss out when you're not allowed due to protocols on the field? It's
a bummer, but there's a lot of prep before. Like after I get off with you, I'm going to talk to a couple of Browns players. The thing you miss the most is the pre-game warm up where you can walk out on the field. The guys are on their headphones. So you don't get that. We are still, thank God, the league is helping us. We are still able to talk to the coach at the half, which I think is huge. Honestly, I mean, we're in contact with the PR down on the field. If you wanted to scream to someone and try to get a reaction pre-game, you probably could because they can hear us. It's just we're all making adjustments, right? It's a big bummer, but I'm so glad we're back to work.
Erin Andrews here on the Rich Eisen Show. Ask Erin the poll question. Go for it. Let's see what her 2 cents is here.
All right, Erin, who should be panicking most after week 1? Browns, Cowboys, Eagles, Vikings.
What do you think?
I mean, I know the Browns are winning. I think because I'm reading all these articles right now about already after week 1, there's so much worry about this connection between Baker and Odell. Their line's banged up going into this. They're without their starting linebacker. Jacob Phillips is now hurt. I would say them right now. Hopefully they can turn it around on Thursday night.
I know. By the way, fantastic plug for the game that, again, you're going to. And by the way, just so you know, everyone out there, this is a game that's exclusively on NFL Network. So that's not a Fox thing that Erin was not trying to look for something extra in her paycheck right there.
No.
This is exclusively on NFL Network on Thursday night. But this is big. I mean, you are not wrong. I mean, if the Browns start this season 0-2 with 2 losses in 5 games and 2 within division, that is significant. Certainly with the way that they got beat up by the Ravens and the way that the Steelers looked last night, that would be significantly problematic for them.
Yeah, and then you think about it, Joe Burrow walking in, a rookie quarterback beating this group that, we're talking in the offseason, not as much obviously as last year, but then you think about it, and we were just, discussing it, all of us on the phone about Tom and Arians, and again, how it looked like a preseason game, and Stefanski didn't have a lot of time, with this Browns team as well. So this is interesting. I mean, this whole scenario is crazy. It's wild. When will teams start looking like themselves, And I was just saying, I mean, I haven't even unpacked my suitcase from Sunday because I'm not used to being in this whole, routine again. And this Browns team has to turn around and play, on Thursday after, again, a really weird off season. A lot of guys are injured right now. Here we go, week 2 already.
And so what did you glean being as, I guess, immersed as you possibly can be with the COVID with the Bucs, with this team that has, I think they're winning the Super Bowl. At least I predicted it. I don't know, what to make of what I just saw other than the fact that it's just going to take some time. But what did you glean talking to everybody there about gelling and what they expect?
First of all, that defense is awesome.
They are.
I mean, even that young secondary, they looked great. And
Right.
that, I mean, Michael Thomas was held in check, so that was really encouraging because I didn't know if they would, they had a rookie obviously starting out there, and I didn't know if he would light them up, if Drew would. There is a sense of urgency, and that is brought on when Tom is there. Now, and he had said to us, Tom did, look, I mean, there's going to be things we learn in this game that we like and that we don't like, and we're just going to have to grow throughout the whole thing. That line better protect him. I did get a little worried a couple of times when he hit the deck. The other thing is I'm interested to see how some of these receivers react because Tom, I know Tom, things got real on Sunday on that flight back. It wasn't the good old, hey, let's go to the high school and throw the ball around. It's like,
right.
Mike Evans, come sit next to me, and this is what we're doing, and this is what I'm seeing, and you need to learn. Godwin, here we go. He loves that Scotty Miller. I know we talked about it on our broadcast, but he said to us in the game or in our conference call, a lot of people won't know who he is going into this season. They will at the end of this season. He loves that kid.
Erin Andrews here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, before I send you in the rest of your Tuesday, which I appreciate you spending with us now that you're traveling all over the country right now. Let's talk about Where by Erin Andrews. Look, this is when you get the NFL to say, okay, here's some marks and logos. Let's make a business deal. That's significant.
Oh yeah.
What have you? How'd you pull that one off, Erin?
How'd you do it? Well, listen, I mean, we've been trying to do this for the last 5-6 years. I kind of thought there was a white space for it. I thought there were women out there. I was a woman I still am a woman. I was, a person as I rooted for my husband with the Kings. I was looking for something that I could wear to the games and cheer for them. And then, obviously go get a drink afterwards or go to dinner. We wanted to make a kind of a fashion line that you could wear everywhere, anywhere, not just, at tailgates or on Monday nights and Thursday nights and Sundays, kind of make it a staple in your closet. And we had a real soft launch last year and we crushed it. And our 2020 line came out last week and styles are going fast and we're pumped up and we just signed on with NCAA and the NBA as well. So we're very excited about it. I'm just trying to get into your world to be so successful. I'm just trying to be the female Rich Eisen. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what, Erin? I don't know how to quite handle that one. I think you're doing just fine in your own right. Fanatics.com and NFLshop.com. I'm waiting to see what would the Wear by RE look like? It would have to be like a cardigan with a logo or a sweater or something like that.
Definitely a sweater situation.
I mean,
the quarter zip.
I don't see you as a turtleneck guy, but you look great. You could do ties.
I could do that.
Button down shirts that don't wrinkle because you're at the desk all day. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Wear by RE. We're spitballing right here.
Yeah, we are.
And again, Fanatics.com, NFLshop.com. Before we were for some reason the subject of Stanley Cup and drinking out of it's come up. I imagine you have done that twice, correct? Because Jarrett Stahl, your husband, has won a couple of cups, right? Do you have any good stories
I've
with
done
that?
It once. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Once I was not in the picture in 2012.
Okay.
We got introduced actually that off season. So great off season for Jarrett Stoll. He won the cup and then he met his future wife. But it's fun. I will say the Stanley Cup, and I can say this, very candidly, it brings the freaks out. Like we took that puppy back to Saskatchewan where he lives, and there were people coming out of the woodwork just to hold that thing. We feel bad for the guys now. I hope Tampa Bay makes it tonight to play the Stars in the Stanley Cup Finals. But with all the worries about COVID, it's like Jared's like, nobody's going to care. They're all going to be drinking out of it. There's no protocol for that. And I hope not.
Oh, my.
Love that cup.
So, yeah, and again, the concept is whoever, you can't drink, it has to be tipped to you by somebody who's won it, right? Is that the protocol for this, to drinking out of the cup?
Yes, it is the protocol, and you can't lift it up over your head unless you want it. I mean, I've lifted it up with him, but we've been at parties with it, and some weirdo comes and tries to lift it, and they're like, no. They're very serious. I mean, I know where teammates have dropped it and dented it, kind of like Gronk style, and they take it into another room and they bang it out, and it's the holy grail. It's the best trophy out there. It really is.
Well, in the meantime, be safe. Enjoy being at games, even though you're in the minority. The rest of the country's back there watching. Best to Troy and Joe and everybody else at Fox. And have a great Thursday night season and Sundays, and we'll be watching.
Yeah, I miss you. Hope we get to see each other at some
right
point.
Back at you. Thanks, Erin. You take care of yourself. At Erin Andrews on Twitter. Also on Instagram, at WhereByEA on Instagram as well. Fanatics.com and NFLShop.com is how you can get that in a whole bunch of schools. No Syracuse, I don't think.
Yeah, we don't deserve it.
But they do have Georgia. If you want to get something for...
now we're talking.
No, well, you just went higher register, which means you're not interested. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.